Hi, Tony Retrovado for Retro Grammar. Last time out I talked about the fact that the way grammar is taught in the classroom really doesn't work in a traditional classroom. In fact, it doesn't work very well in the progressive classrooms either, the transformational and all those other grammars that I mentioned a few tapes back. For their own reasons, for separate reasons, they don't work. And I did try to give you a little overview of why they don't. I want to impress on you the fact that I'm not a linguist. Language builds, as I said before. I start with words. If I was a linguist, I would start with letters and actually go back. I'd talk about the sounds that make letters and such. I don't do that. If you came to me and said, Mr. Ritt, teach my kid to read, he doesn't read. He doesn't know how. I wouldn't know any more about how to teach him to read than a waitress or a cab driver or a doctor. I possibly could do it because I remember I was taught a little bit, but I couldn't do that. I deal with words and their relationships. And as I said the last time, the problem in the English classroom is teachers start with words and then they go right to sentences. And you can't do it that way. You have to teach phrases and clauses before you get to sentences. Now I want to read something to you because this is a traditional definition of the phrase. By the way, I'm going to be dealing with a word. The word is construction. If I talk about a construction, that could mean a few things. It could mean a word, because a word is constructed out of letters. It could mean a phrase, because a phrase is constructed out of words. It could mean a clause, because a clause is constructed out of words and phrases. This gets a little crazy, but so if I talk about a construction, I'm talking about building the units of our language. Okay, a phrase is defined traditionally as, this is a bizarre, I don't know how anybody could teach this and expect anybody to know what you're talking about. It says a phrase, I could do this without looking, but I'll look. A phrase is a group of words not containing a verb in its subject. And then it says a phrase is used as a single part of speech. That's terrible for a couple of reasons. First of all, it doesn't tell what a phrase is. It says is what it's not. It's a phrase, it's a group of words not containing. I don't want to hear what it doesn't contain. You're telling me what it's not. Tell me what it is. The second thing is it's used as a single part of speech. No, it isn't. Could an interjection be a phrase? Could a conjunction be a phrase? Maybe it could. I just don't like that definition. I don't like it at all. It's too confusing. A clause. Listen to the definition of a clause, traditional definition. A clause is a group of words containing a subject and predicate and used as part of a sentence. It contains a subject and predicate and it's used as part of a sentence. No wonder, clauses, if you look in the book, the grammar book, you get about 3-4 pages on clauses. And that's all they give you. The clause is the heart and soul of the language. If you don't understand what a clause is, you don't understand what a sentence is. That's just the name of the game. A sentence is defined. Listen to this. A group of words expressing a complete thought. What's a complete thought? It consists of two parts, the subject and the predicate. Wait, what was that definition of a clause again? Okay, look. Garbage. I'm going to define some things for you. But before I do, I have to talk about words and what they do, how they operate. If you took all the words in the English dictionary, you can divide them into two groups. Words are supposed to paint pictures in your mind. That's what they do. I think a thought. In other words, I get this picture in my head and I try to convey my picture to your mind. Words are what I use to do that. There are two kinds of words. There are words that paint pictures, and there are words that glue the pictures together. They don't do anything else. They just kind of buffer the pictures. They combine them in one way or another. There are two basic groups of words: the picture words and the glue words. Now the picture words you can break up into three groups, which I do. These picture words either name things, they show some kind of action, or they link. I like to put them in the same group. Traditional grammar does the same thing. It calls them verbs. But it also calls them linking verbs and action verbs. Why verb? They have to say link and act anyway. Why not just say they link and they act and leave it at that? Anyway, you have namers, you have linkers, actions, and then you have words that describe things. So what I like to start my lessons with is the idea that words do four things. They do four things. Five if you want to count linkers and actions as separate. But four, I like to use four for a reason that I'll get to later. They either name, they describe, they show action and link, and they glue. That's what words do. Now you're thinking, well, this is the old noun-verb thing. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Because this is what words do, but they don't always do these things one at a time. Sometimes you have groups of words acting as teams to do these things. Not the glue job. Glue is pretty much, it's like buying glue at the store. It's just, they're little units of words. They glue. I'll give you some examples sometime. But the other three jobs that words do, naming, action, description, you can use a single word to do any one of those jobs, but sometimes we take groups of words and use them as teams to do either the naming, action, describing job. Those groups of words are called phrases. That's what a phrase is. You want to define a phrase? It's a group of words put together to do either the naming, action, or describing job. Next time out, we'll move on. Thank you for your attention.